Chosen one. Why can't you sleep? No deeper than that. Why does your body feel like it's carrying stones you never picked up? Why does every conversation feel like you're translating a language no one else remembers? Here's what they won't tell you. You're not breaking down. You're being broken open. You didn't stumble onto this message while mindlessly scrolling through your phone at 2 a.m. You were summoned, called by name, pulled here by the same force that stopped Paul on the Damascus road and woke Samuel in the night. This isn't content. This is contact. And if your chest just tightened reading those words, if something ancient in you just whispered finally, then you already know. Tonight is not ordinary. Let me tell you what heaven is doing while you think you're just tired, while you believe you're forgotten, overlooked, or too late. God is preparing to perform surgery on your identity, and when heaven operates, you must lie still. That exhaustion you feel, that's not depression, that's divine anesthesia. You've been asking, what's wrong with me? But heaven has been answering, nothing. I'm making room. Room for the voice you've been afraid to use. Room for the boundaries you were taught were selfish. Room for the version of you that doesn't apologize for taking up space. Before we go further, I want to honor something sacred. Thank you to every single one of you who has supported this message through Super Thanks. Your generosity means more than you know. You're not just giving, you're planting seeds in soil you may never see. You're helping spread light to someone in Iowa who feels invisible, to someone in Brooklyn carrying shame they didn't earn. Whether you give or not, I'm deeply grateful for your presence here. Your time, your attention, it all matters. And if this message is resonating in your soul right now, go ahead, type I receive it in the comments. Not as superstition, as agreement. That's how faith moves from your head to your hands. Now, let's talk about what happens tonight. You're about to become someone you've never been. Not louder, clearer, not harder, truer. And everyone who got comfortable with the old you, they're going to feel it first. This is your divine arrest, your holy interruption. The moment the script flips and you stop asking permission to be who God already called you to be. Stay with me. Don't you dare look away now. Because what I'm about to show you will change the way you see every closed door, every delayed answer, every night you cried yourself to sleep, wondering if you heard God wrong. You didn't. You were just early. But tonight, you're right on time. Why does your body feel like it weighs 1,000 pounds when your calendar says you've done nothing? Why does sleep no longer restore you? Why do you wake up more exhausted than when you closed your eyes? And here's the question that's been haunting you in the 3 a.m. silence. Why does it feel like God has you in a chokehold you can't break free from? Listen to me carefully. What you're calling exhaustion, heaven is calling sedation. What you're naming as depression, God is marking as divine anesthesia. You're not collapsing, you're being laid down. Like a patient on an operating table, stripped of control, unable to move, forced into stillness so the surgeon can reach what's been bleeding beneath the surface for years. You think you're weak, but weakness doesn't keep you breathing when everything in you wants to quit. Weakness doesn't hold you together when betrayal tried to shatter you. Weakness doesn't make you wake up and try again after 100 nights of unanswered prayers. That's not weakness, beloved. That's divine restraint. God has been holding you still because if you moved too soon, you'd ruin what he's rebuilding. Let me take you to Daniel chapter 10. The prophet, strong, faithful, relentless, falls flat on his face when heaven touches him. Verse 8 says, I had no strength left. My face turned deathly pale and I was helpless. Did God punish him? No. God positioned him. Because sometimes the only way heaven can rewire your soul is to shut down your body first. You've been fighting this stillness like it's your enemy. But what if this paralysis is the kindest thing God has ever done for you? What if he's keeping you flat on your back because standing up too soon would send you right back into the chaos that almost destroyed you? Psalm 46:10 doesn't say, work harder, and know that I am God. It says, be still. And that still in Hebrew? Rapha. It means to let go, to release, to stop clenching your fists around outcomes you were never meant to control. Here's the reversal nobody tells you. Your paralysis is not punishment, it's positioning. Right now, while you feel frozen, heaven is reprogramming your circuitry, rewiring how you see yourself, recalibrating what you tolerate, removing the lies that nested in your identity and replacing them with truth so loud it'll change the way you walk into rooms. God is performing surgery on your soul tonight, and you need to lie still. Not because you're defeated, because you're being reconstructed. Every wire of shame, every circuit of fear, every connection to people who drained you without filling you, it's all being cut. Surgically, permanently. If you feel your spirit trembling right now, don't fight it. Whisper it aloud. God, I surrender to stillness. That's not weakness. That's power disguised as peace. Because when this procedure is done, and beloved, it's almost done, you won't just stand up. You'll rise with a clarity so sharp that darkness won't dare come close. You'll speak, and atmospheres will shift. You'll walk, and doors will open that were bolted shut for decades. So let me ask you one last time. Are you ready to stop fighting the stillness and start trusting the surgeon? Because what happens next will redefine everything you thought you knew about your calling. Listen closely. Something is happening to you right now that you can't see with your natural eyes. While you've been sitting here, while you've been listening, heaven has been setting up an operating room around your spirit. The lights are dimming, the instruments are sterile, and God himself is scrubbing in. You feel it, don't you? That weight pressing on your chest, that strange warmth in your palms, that tingling running down your spine like electricity finding its path. You thought it was anxiety, you thought it was age, but what if I told you it's neither? What if that sensation is the anesthesia of the Almighty putting your old nature to sleep so he can cut away what's been killing you? You're not having a breakdown, you're on the operating table. For months, maybe years, you've been asking God, why do I feel so heavy? Why can't I move like I used to? And heaven has been whispering back, because I'm performing surgery, and surgery requires stillness. You can't operate on something that won't stop moving. So God gave you exhaustion, not as punishment, as preparation. Every sleepless night, that was pre-op. Every moment you felt too weak to fight back, that was the sedative taking effect. Every time you whispered, I can't do this anymore, that was you finally surrendering to the surgeon's hands. And now, right here, right now, he's beginning the incision. Here's what's being removed tonight. The belief that you have to earn your worth. The lie that your value is tied to productivity. The shame you've carried since childhood that told you you're too much or not enough. The fear that whispers, it's too late for you. God is cutting it out, all of it, layer by layer, memory by memory. But he's not just removing, he's replacing. Where doubt lived, he's planting authority. Where shame festered, he's grafting dignity. Where fear screamed, he's installing the voice of a lion. Romans 8:11 says it plain. The Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. And just as God raised Christ Jesus from the dead, he will give life to your mortal bodies by this same Spirit living within you. Do you hear that? The same power that rolled the stone away from a sealed tomb is operating on you tonight. The same force that spoke galaxies into existence is rewiring your nervous system. You thought you were just tired. No, you were being rebuilt. Your body is feeling it now. That heaviness isn't sickness, it's the weight of old programming being deleted. That ache in your bones isn't age, it's the resistance of a false identity refusing to let go. Let it hurt, let it pull, because on the other side of this discomfort is a version of you that walks into rooms and shifts atmospheres without saying a word. God is tuning you like a master tuning a piano. Every string that's been flat, sharp, or silent is being adjusted to heaven's frequency. And here's the truth they don't tell you. When you're in tune with God, everything out of tune starts to tremble. Dysfunction can't stand near you. Manipulation loses its grip. People who thrived on your confusion suddenly can't find the words. Not because you became mean, but because your frequency changed. You became a tuning fork struck in the hand of God, and everything false is vibrating itself out of your life. Think about it. Why did certain friendships suddenly feel exhausting? Why did conversations that used to hold your attention now feel like static? Why did places you used to go now feel suffocating? Because you're no longer compatible with that frequency. Heaven has recalibrated your spirit, and tonight the final adjustment is happening. You thought you were being still because you were weak, but you were being still because you were being rewired for authority. You thought God forgot you in the waiting room, but you weren't waiting, you were in surgery, and surgery takes time. But the operation is almost complete. I can see it in the spirit. The stitches are going in, the wounds are being closed. And when you wake up from this, when you stand up from this moment, you will not walk the same. Your gait will be different. Your eyes will be sharper. Your words will carry weight they never carried before. You will never second-guess yourself the way you used to. You will never tolerate what you used to tolerate. You will never shrink to make others comfortable, because the person who did that, they died on the table. And the person rising up is someone heaven has been preparing for decades. If you feel the shift happening right now, if something inside you is waking up, standing up, speaking up type, it's happening in the comments. Not for me, for you. Because when you declare it, you activate it. The surgery is almost done. But there's one more thing God needs to remove, and it's the deepest cut of all. Are you ready to let Him take it? You'll wake up tomorrow different, not inspired, transformed, not pieced back together like some patched-up version of who you used to be. No, you'll rise whole, brand new. The way Lazarus walked out of that tomb, not as a ghost of his former self, but alive in a way that made death itself look powerless. Listen to me carefully. The person you were yesterday, the one who second-guessed every decision, who shrank back when their name was called, who apologized for existing in rooms they had every right to occupy, that person no longer lives here. Isaiah 43:19 says it plainly, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Do you perceive it yet? Because it's already happening. Right now, inside you. While you're sitting there wondering if you're crazy for believing this could actually be real. Here's what's going to shock you most. People will notice your glow before you do. They won't be able to name it at first. They'll just feel different around you. Calmer. Like the temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees the moment you walked in. They'll start asking you questions they never asked before. You seem peaceful. What changed? And you won't even know how to answer them because the shift didn't happen to you, it happened in you. You've been walking around carrying the presence of God like a secret you were afraid to tell. But secrets this powerful don't stay hidden. They leak. They radiate. They transform the atmosphere without permission. Think about Moses coming down from the mountain. His face glowed so bright the people couldn't even look at him. He didn't plan that. He didn't practice that in a mirror. He just spent time in the presence of the Almighty, and it showed. That's what's happening to you. You've been in the refiner's fire. You've been in the potter's hands. And now you carry the evidence. But let me tell you what that evidence looks like in real terms, not in theory, not in some distant spiritual realm, but in your actual life. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and the first thing you'll notice is the weight is gone. That invisible 100-pound vest you've been wearing since 2019, since that betrayal, since that loss, it's not there anymore. You'll take a breath and it'll go all the way down to your feet. You'll feel your lungs expand like they haven't in years. And you'll think, when did I forget how to breathe? Then you're going to look in the mirror. Same face, same eyes. But something behind them has shifted. There's a steadiness there now. A knowing. The kind of look that doesn't beg for validation or flinch at rejection. You won't recognize yourself for a moment, and that's exactly the point. Because you are no longer who you were. The one who used to answer to your old name. The one who tolerated disrespect because they were afraid of being alone. The one who kept quiet to keep the peace even when the peace was killing them. That version is dead. And I don't mean that poetically. I mean Romans 6:4 dead. We were buried with him through baptism into death, in order that, just as Christ was raised from the dead, we too may walk in newness of life. Newness, not improvement, not a slight upgrade. Newness. Here's where it gets dangerous for the enemy. Because when you walk into rooms now, you won't just be present, you'll shift the narrative. Conversations that used to spiral into gossip will suddenly lose steam when you arrive. Plans made in darkness will crumble in your proximity, not because you're policing anyone, but because light doesn't negotiate with shadows. It just is, and shadows flee. You're going to speak less and mean more. Your no will carry the weight of a judge's gavel. Your yes will unlock doors that were welded shut. And the people who thought they had you figured out, they're going to have to sit down and recalibrate everything they assumed about you. Some of them won't make it. Some will fall away. Let them. If they can't honor the resurrected you, they didn't really know the old you either. They knew a costume, a performance, a version of you that bent and folded to make everyone comfortable. But you don't fit in that box anymore. You outgrew it in the fire. Matthew 25:21 echoes in your spirit now. Well done, good and faithful servant. Not well tried, not nice effort. Well done, because you didn't quit. You didn't numb out. You didn't take the easy exit when it was offered on a silver platter. You stayed. You endured. You let the process complete you. And now you walk as living proof. Proof that God finishes what he starts. Proof that weeping endures for a night, but joy, real, unshakable, defiant joy comes in the morning. You are chosen. You are marked. You are reborn. Not metaphorically, literally. The signature of heaven is written across your life now, and everyone with eyes to see will recognize it. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to walk in it? Not hope for it. Not pray about it one more time. But actually step into it right now, tonight, without apology, without permission, without waiting for someone to tell you it's okay. If you are, type, "I'm ready to walk in it" in the comments. Let heaven see your yes. Let the cloud of witnesses see you stand, because this isn't just confession, this is covenant. And what you declare here shifts what happens next. Listen to me carefully now, chosen one. What happened tonight wasn't information, it was installation. Heaven didn't give you knowledge to store it, gave you authority to activate. And from this moment forward, everything changes. Your words, they now carry weight you haven't earned, through effort but through endurance. When you speak peace into a room, that room will settle. Not because you got louder, but because you finally learned to stop explaining yourself to people who were never assigned to understand you. Your silence became your surgery. And now your presence is your proof. You won't need to defend your transformation. You won't need to announce your elevation. People will feel it before you say a word. They'll adjust their tone when they approach you, not out of fear, but out of recognition. Something in them will know. This one has been with God. Acts 4:13. They took note that these men had been with Jesus. That's you now, marked, sealed, sent. This is the beginning of your undeniable era. Not someday, not when you feel ready. Tonight, right now, while you're still sitting here wondering if you heard correctly. Yes, you did. While you're questioning if this applies to you, it does. The very fact that you're still here, that you didn't scroll past, that something in your spirit said, stay, that's confirmation. You've been chosen for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. But let me tell you what heaven is sealing inside you right now, something that will make the enemy tremble and your destiny accelerate. Your life is about to become evidence, not theory, not testimony you borrowed from someone else's breakthrough. Your actual life, the way you walk into rooms, the way you end toxic conversations without raising your voice, the way closed doors suddenly swing open because favor is chasing you down like a heat-seeking missile. You thought your scars disqualified you? No. Your scars are signatures of grace. Every wound you survived, every betrayal that didn't break you, every night you cried yourself to sleep and still woke up the next morning, those weren't losses. Those were credentials. You've been credentialed for what's coming, and what's coming is so big, so holy, so precisely orchestrated that if I told you the full blueprint right now, you'd accuse me of lying. But here's what I can tell you. Heaven's proof is about to walk on 2 feet. Your feet. You are the answered prayer someone whispered in a hospital room. You are the vindication someone's faith was waiting to see. You are what happens when God gets tired of people misrepresenting his power and decides to show them what real transformation looks like. So here's your assignment. Tomorrow morning, not next week, not when you feel more spiritual tomorrow, you're going to bless someone publicly, out loud, in front of witnesses. You're going to speak life over someone who doesn't expect it. You're going to break the curse of silence that's been on your lineage and release the sound of heaven through your voice, because you're no longer the one who waits for permission to bless. You're the one who gives it. And I need you to do something else. Share this message. Not because I need views, because someone in your circle needs a lifeline and you're holding it. Your obedience could be the difference between someone giving up and someone getting up. You think you clicked on this video by accident. They're going to call your sharing it coincidence. But you and I know better. Divine setup. If this word pierced you, if it found the exact fracture in your heart that no one else knew about, leave a testimony in the comments. Let your declaration become someone else's confirmation. Type I am the proof, not as hype, as prophecy. Because when you declare what God said before you see it, you give heaven legal jurisdiction to manifest it. That's not faith talk. That's faith walk. Now bow your head with me. Not because you have to, but because you've been waiting for someone with authority to bless you the way you deserve. Let me be that voice tonight. Father, for every soul who heard these words not by chance, but by divine appointment, I ask that you complete the work you began tonight. Let their sleep be holy rest, not torment. Let their dreams be downloads, not warfare. And when they wake tomorrow morning, let them rise with the kind of clarity that makes demons nervous and destiny certain. Seal this transformation, Lord. Let no weapon formed against it prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Let no voice of doubt, no memory of failure, no whisper of the enemy steal what you planted here. You said it, God, and that settles it. For those carrying grief tonight, touch that wound. For those carrying shame, wash that stain. For those carrying exhaustion, breathe new strength into tired bones. Let them know that their weariness wasn't weakness, it was the weight of preparation. And what they're carrying now isn't burden, it's birthright. We declare breakthrough over finances that have been stuck. We declare healing over bodies that have been battling. We declare reconciliation over relationships that have been fractured, not because we're begging, but because we're agreeing with what you already released from heaven. And God, for the ones who've been waiting so long they almost stopped believing, let tonight be the night they feel. You smile over them again. Let them hear you whisper, "Well done, my child." Matthew 25:21. Let that word land so deep that nothing can ever uproot it again. we receive this commissioning. We accept this assignment. We step into this undeniable era with holy confidence, not in ourselves, but in the one who called us by name before we ever knew his. In the matchless, mighty, miracle-working name of Jesus Christ, we seal this moment. Amen. Now go, walk as proof, live as evidence. Be the answer to the prayers your ancestors prayed. You are ready. You are equipped. You are loved. And you are becoming exactly who you were always meant to be. Tonight, right now, from this breath forward, it's done. Before you go, let me leave you with this. You are not the same person who started watching this message. Something shifted. Something broke loose. Something that was dormant just woke up. Hold on to that. Don't let the noise of tomorrow steal what heaven whispered tonight. Remember, your exhaustion was preparation. Your silence was strategy. Your waiting wasn't wasted. Every delay positioned you. Every closed door protected you. And every tear you cried watered seeds you're about to harvest. You didn't survive all of that just to stay small. You survived it to become undeniable proof that God keeps his promises. And hear me clearly. You are not alone in this. Not for 1 second. God is still moving in your life even when you can't see it, even when it feels silent, even when others walked away. He never left. He's been preparing you in private for what he's about to do in public. And this community, we're standing with you, praying with you, believing with you. You are surrounded, covered, and held. So let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you finally believed you were enough? Not someday, right now, exactly as you are. With all your scars, all your questions, all your unfinished chapters. What if you stopped waiting for permission and just walked into the calling that's been chasing you? Think about that. Then let's seal this moment together. Father, I lift every person who stayed until these final words. You know their name. You know their story. You know the weight they've been carrying in secret, the fear, the doubt, the shame, the exhaustion. Tonight, I'm asking you to lift it. Not someday, tonight. Let them feel your hand on their shoulder. Let them hear you whisper, I'm proud of you. You're going to make it. I'm not done with you yet. God, bless the work of their hands. Open doors no man can shut. Revelation 3-8. Provide for every need before they even ask. Heal what's been broken. Restore what was stolen. Vindicate what was misunderstood. Let their life become a walking miracle that makes people ask, what happened to you? So they can answer, God happened. Protect their peace. Guard their mind. Strengthen their faith. And when the enemy tries to convince them this moment wasn't real, send a sign so undeniable they'll laugh at the lie. You are Jehovah Jireh, their provider, Jehovah Rapha, their healer, Jehovah Shalom, their peace. And tonight we receive it all in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Now, if this message moved, you don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear that they're not forgotten. Comment below and tell me, what is God waking up in you tonight? I read every single one. And if you need prayer, drop your request. This community will stand with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Not for me, but because you need these reminders. You need this truth speaking into your life regularly. Hit that notification bell so you never miss what God is saying. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your time, your heart, your attention. You matter more than you know. Now go. Walk in your authority. Live as proof. You are becoming exactly who God called you to be. Tonight. And every night after this, it's already done.